What happens when nature turns violent in a matter of hours? When calm, picturesque towns in southern Europe suddenly resemble war zones of water and mud. In just the last 48 hours, violent storms and catastrophic flooding have battered the coasts of Italy's Liguria region and southern France, leaving behind a trail of destruction, collapsed infrastructure, and worst of all, lives lost. This is not just another weather update. This is a wake-up call. In the peaceful town of Finale Ligure, nestled in Italy's Ligurian coast, residents are in shock after a violent storm system slammed into the region. The Finale Borgo area, a historic quarter near the route to Perti, saw a pedestrian bridge torn apart by the sheer force of nature. A massive tree, uprooted and dragged downstream by raging floodwaters, crashed into the structure, completely unhinging it. This wasn't just an unfortunate accident. It was a result of hours of torrential rainfall, pushing local rivers to critical levels. In nearby Finale Ligure, over 200 millimeters of rain fell in just a few hours. That's more than 2 months' worth of rainfall in a single afternoon. Small streams couldn't contain the volume, and banks overflowed, cascading through roads and low-lying areas, tearing through anything in their path. Local authorities are now assessing structural integrity across multiple towns as fears grow about other hidden vulnerabilities. But while Liguria reels from infrastructure loss, southern France is mourning its dead. Since Monday, violent rainstorms have battered the Var region along the French Riviera. The resort town of Lavandou, known for its beaches and vacation homes, became a scene of tragedy. An elderly couple living in the Cavalier district attempted to flee rising waters early Tuesday morning, but it was too late. They were swept away by what local officials are calling a very rapid and violent surge. Their bodies were found not far from their home. Elsewhere, in the town of Villeurbanne, tragedy struck again. A car, attempting to drive through a flooded road, was pushed into a ditch by the torrent. While a passerby bravely rescued the driver, the passenger could not be saved. These weren't isolated downpours. 256 millimeters of rain fell in just 1 hour over Le Lavandou, an almost surreal figure. Mayor Gil Bernardi described the aftermath. Roads torn up, bridges broken apart. It was a truly violent, nasty, incomprehensible phenomenon. As southern France and northern Italy begin to pick up the pieces, the forecast still warns of possible storms later this week. Authorities are urging residents to stay alert, avoid flood-prone areas, and not underestimate flash flood risks, even if skies look clear. Investigations into the deaths have already been launched in France, with local officials pledging support to affected communities. But questions are also being asked about preparedness and early warning systems. Could these deaths have been prevented? Are small towns being left too vulnerable?